Being chosen by God is not a title of ease. It is a mantle of responsibility, a calling that carries with it burdens that most will never understand. When God calls someone, he doesn't call them into comfort, he calls them into purpose. And purpose, by its very nature, demands more than ordinary strength. It demands resilience, patience, and the courage to stand when the world expects you to fall. The weight of being chosen is not something that can be measured by external appearances. You may look like everyone else on the outside, but inside there is a fire that the ordinary cannot endure. The challenges, the setbacks, the moments when it feels like everything is too much, these are not mistakes, these are signs. They are the markers that show you are walking a path that is different from the crowd. Many people fear being chosen because it comes with expectations that are far beyond what they imagined. There is pressure to perform, to rise above circumstances, to be a light when darkness surrounds you. People may not see the sleepless nights, the moments of doubt, the tears shed in private. They do not see the inner battles fought quietly, the struggle to remain faithful when life seems to be pressing in from all sides. But God sees it. He sees the weight you carry. He sees the sacrifice, the effort, and the endurance. And he is preparing you in these moments to carry what others cannot. Being chosen often comes with isolation. The higher you are called to rise, the less the around you may understand your journey. Friends may drift, family may question, and critics may speak when they do not understand. This isolation is not punishment. It is a necessary space for growth. It is in the quiet, in the moments when you feel alone, that your faith is being strengthened. Your character is being refined. Your heart is being aligned with the purpose God has set before you. Every challenge is a teacher, every burden a tool, and every seemingly impossible situation a step toward the destiny that is uniquely yours. Understand this, the weight of being chosen is not a curse. It is a preparation for greatness. Those who are called to extraordinary purposes cannot be ordinary in experience. They must face trials that break unprepared, endure pressures that crush the weak, and walk through seasons that would overwhelm the average person. But in each of these moments, there is a divine design. Every burden carries a lesson. Every hardship carries a seed of strength. Every difficulty is shaping a vessel capable of holding a purpose far beyond human comprehension. The world may look at a chosen one and see only the success, the rise, the victories, but behind every triumph is a story of endurance, a story of sacrifice, a story of carrying a weight that seems too heavy for human shoulders. The chosen one learns to walk in faith even when the path is unclear, to rise above fear even when the odds are stacked, and to trust in a purpose that is larger than themselves. The weight is real, the burden is heavy, and yet it is exactly what God intended. It is the refinement of character, the building of resilience, and the preparation for a calling that only you can fulfill. Being chosen means embracing the weight, understanding that it is not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you. It is not meant to break you, but to mold you. It is not meant to discourage you, but to equip you. And one day when you stand fully in your purpose, you will look back at the heavy load you once carried and realize that it was exactly what you needed to become the person God always knew you could be. Sometimes God speaks to us in ways that shake our very foundation. Sometimes the message is not wrapped in comfort or ease. Sometimes it comes as a challenge, as a truth so heavy that it makes the soul pause. And this is one of those times the message may feel harsh, overwhelming, even unbearable, but it is a message of preparation. God does not give weight to break you. He gives it to build you. He does not bring storms to punish you. He brings them to prepare you for the greatness that lies ahead. Life, with all its trials, its setbacks, and its heartaches, is not random. There is a divine plan in every moment, a purpose in every challenge, a lesson in every trial. And when God says something that feels too much, it is not because He is rejecting you, it is because He is preparing you. Preparation is often uncomfortable. It demands patience, endurance, and trust in a process that is not always visible. The chosen one cannot walk into destiny without being shaped by experience. God uses challenges to refine character. He uses delays to deepen faith. He uses difficulties to stretch understanding. The very things that feel like burdens today are the tools of divine preparation. They are the crucibles in which your strength is forged, your wisdom is refined, and your resilience is multiplied. What feels unbearable in the moment is actually shaping you for a calling too great for ordinary hands. Every great purpose in history has been preceded by preparation. Every significant victory has been preceded by struggle. And every person who has walked into extraordinary destiny has first walked through seasons of testing. The key is to understand that God's message, no matter how heavy it feels, is never arbitrary. It is intentional. It is targeted. It is designed to equip you with everything you will need for the journey ahead. While the world may see only delay, only difficulty, only discomfort, God sees the finished masterpiece. He sees the purpose that will be fulfilled. He sees the strength that will rise from the trial. Preparation also teaches dependence. It reminds the chosen one that true power is not in self-reliance, but in reliance on the one who calls. When the weight feels too heavy, it is a divine invitation to lean deeper, to trust harder, and to surrender more fully. It is in those moments of seeming insufficiency that God's strength becomes most evident. What you cannot carry on your own is the very place where divine power steps in to lift you, sustain you, and guide you forward. So do not despise preparation, do not resist it, and do not shrink from it. The message that feels overwhelming is actually the message of destiny. It is a call to readiness, a call to endurance, and a call to faith. It is a reminder that God is at work even when the process is painful, and that every test, every trial, every moment of struggle is moving you toward the purpose He has ordained. While it may feel too much today, it is exactly what is needed for tomorrow. And when the time comes for your breakthrough, when the moment arrives for you to step fully into the calling, you will look back and understand that every weight, every burden, every difficult message was preparation for the life you were created to live. Endurance is not optional for the chosen one. It is essential. The path of purpose is never a straight line, never smooth, and never easy. Life will bring storms, obstacles, and pressures that will test the very core of your being. And it is in these trials that endurance is forged. Every challenge, every setback, every moment that feels too heavy to bear is not designed to stop you. It is designed to strengthen you. When the weight seems unbearable, that is precisely the moment God is stretching your spirit, expanding your capacity, and teaching you the power of resilience. Endurance is learned in the struggle, cultivated in the fire, and strengthened by the faith that refuses to waver when circumstances seem impossible. The truth is, trials are universal, but they are not meaningless. The pressures, the difficulties, the moments of doubt, they are all shaping a person who can withstand what most cannot. There is a secret in life that the world does not tell you. Greatness requires trials. Every triumph is preceded by a test. Every breakthrough is preceded by battle. And every person who achieves extraordinary purpose has walked through seasons that demanded endurance. The weight may bend you, but it will not break you if you stand firm. Endurance is the bridge between where you are and where God intends for you to be. It is the process through which faith becomes unshakable, hope becomes unbreakable, and character becomes undeniable. Endurance also teaches patience. Often, the chosen one looks at the progress of others and wonders why their breakthrough has not yet arrived. But God's timing is perfect, and the trials are precisely calibrated to prepare you for your moment. Every delay, every difficulty, every too much moment is an opportunity to strengthen the muscles of perseverance. Patience is not simply waiting, it is maintaining faith while facing adversity. It is learning to trust that even when the storm rages, God is at work behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail to align with the destiny He has prepared. The more you endure, the more you discover your own strength, the greater your confidence in God, and the deeper your capacity for faith. Endurance is also about perspective. The chosen one understands that struggle is temporary, that pain is a season, and that the lessons learned in difficulty are eternal. Every trial carries a message, every challenge carries a lesson, and every moment of pressure carries preparation. When life feels overwhelming, it is an invitation to rise above circumstance, to embrace the process, and to walk forward with determination. The world may judge, the critics may speak, and the burdens may feel immense, but endurance is the quiet strength that whispers, I will not be moved. I will not be shaken. I will see this through. And the beautiful truth is that endurance transforms. It shapes your character, it builds your resilience, and it develops a heart capable of handling the magnitude of your calling. The chosen one cannot thrive without endurance because the calling is greater than comfort, the purpose is greater than ease, and the destiny is far bigger than ordinary strength. Every trial faced, every storm survived, every weight carried becomes testimony, and when the time comes for victory, you will stand not only triumphant, but equipped with a spirit that has been forged in the fire, molded by challenge, and strengthened by faith. Endurance is the hallmark of the chosen one. It is what separates those who merely wish for greatness from those who are prepared to claim it. It is what allows you to rise when others fall, to stand when others flee, and to walk through the storm knowing that the power of God is sustaining you. It is in endurance that the impossible becomes possible, the too much becomes enough, and the promise of God becomes reality, even in the darkest moments when life feels unbearable, when the weight of the world seems too heavy to carry. The chosen one must remember this: you are never alone. God is present in your struggle. His presence is not distant, it is not passive, and it is not absent when the storms rage. It is in the midst of hardship, in the middle of trials, in the very place where you feel weakest, that his power manifests most fully. There is a divine principle at work. The greater the challenge, the greater the display of his strength. When everything seems too much, when you feel like you cannot take another step, that is when God is closest, lifting, guiding, and sustaining you even when you do not feel it. The chosen one often faces moments of isolation. Friends may misunderstand, loved ones may question, and circumstances may seem relentless. And yet, in these moments, the divine presence is with you. You may not see him, you may not hear a voice, but his spirit is moving in ways you cannot comprehend. He is orchestrating, he is protecting, he is guiding. It is a mystery to the human mind, but it is the reality of faith. God works behind the scenes, arranging every detail, securing every step, and preparing every victory. You may feel alone, but you are walking hand in hand with the Almighty. Understanding the presence of God in hardship changes everything. It turns despair into hope, weakness into strength, and fear into courage. When you recognize that you are not facing trials by yourself, when you grasp that the one who created the universe is walking with you through the storm, endurance becomes easier, faith becomes stronger, and your vision becomes clearer. The pressure does not disappear, the weight does not vanish, but you gain a supernatural capacity to carry it because God's presence strengthens the spirit beyond human limits. Sometimes the divine presence is felt in whispers, a word of encouragement, a moment of clarity, a shift in perspective. Sometimes it is demonstrated through provision, protection, or miraculous intervention, but always it is there. God never abandons the chosen one, even when the path seems impossible, even when the journey feels too long, and even when the burden seems unbearable. His presence is constant, his power unwavering, and his purpose unshakable. The chosen one learns to rely not on circumstances, not on human strength, but on the invisible hand that guides every step, every decision, and every moment of life. Hardship then becomes a sacred classroom where faith is trained, resilience is built, and dependence on God is deepened. The chosen one discovers that it is not the absence of difficulty that signifies divine favor, but the presence of God amid difficulty. The trials are not punishments, they are opportunities to witness his faithfulness, to experience his power, and to grow into the person he has called you to be. You are never too weak, never too small, and never too inadequate to be accompanied by his presence. In fact, the very fact that the weight feels too heavy is proof that his strength is needed, and it is being made available to you in abundance. So in every storm, in every moment of pressure, in every trial that feels overwhelming, the chosen one can rest in this truth: God is with you. You are not walking alone. You are not facing impossibilities by yourself. You are not carrying burdens without divine support. His presence transforms hardship into testimony, struggle into growth, and trials into triumph. And when the journey is complete, when the storm has passed, the chosen one will stand in victory, not only because of endurance or effort, but because of the unwavering, ever-present power of God that carried them through when human strength failed. Pain is never random. Struggle is never meaningless. Every difficulty, every setback, every moment of heartbreak carries within it a divine purpose. The chosen one must understand this. What feels unbearable today is often the very preparation for tomorrow's triumph. Life will test you, it will challenge you, and it will press against you in ways that seem unfair. But it is in these moments that purpose is being revealed. God does not allow pain without reason. He does not allow suffering without design. Every trial, every hardship, every tear is shaping the path of your destiny, molding you for the assignment that only you can fulfill. Too often, the human heart focuses on the discomfort rather than the message. When pain strikes, it is natural to question, to doubt, and even to despair. But the chosen one sees beyond the moment. They understand that each difficulty is a seed planted, and seeds must be buried in darkness before they grow. The struggles of today are the growth of tomorrow. The obstacles you face, the betrayals you endure, the losses you suffer, they are all part of a divine blueprint for greatness. Purpose exists beyond the pain, and while the pain may be intense, the outcome is magnificent. The breakthrough, the victory, the fulfillment of destiny is always worth the journey. Purpose also transforms perspective. What once felt like failure, what once felt like rejection, what once seemed like the end of the road becomes the very reason for your rise. God's ways are higher than ours, and his timing is perfect. Pain reveals character, tests faith, and strengthens resolve. It is the tool through which he builds resilience and courage. The chosen one learns that life's difficulties are not detours from destiny. They are the direct road to it. Every hardship carries a lesson. Every challenge carries a key. And every moment of suffering is designed to prepare you for the impact you are meant to make in the world. The chosen one also learns empathy and understanding through purpose in pain. Struggles create hearts that can comfort, hands that can help, and voices that can inspire. Your trials are not only for your growth, but for the growth of those who will be touched by your story. When you rise from pain with purpose, your testimony becomes a lifeline for others. The very suffering you endured becomes the source of strength for someone else. God has a way of turning brokenness into blessing and sorrow into service, so that the pain you carry now becomes the platform for your influence, your impact, and your calling. It is critical to remember that purpose is bigger than circumstance. What you face today does not define you. The failures, the setbacks, and the challenges are temporary, but the assignment is eternal. The chosen one does not lose hope in hardship. They find clarity. They see the bigger picture. They understand that the difficulty is temporary, but the destiny is permanent. Every trial, every obstacle, every heavy burden is a stepping stone leading to the life that God has promised. A life of influence, achievement, and fulfillment that could only be reached by walking through the fire. So when the pain feels too much, when the weight threatens to crush, when the journey seems impossible, remember this God is working in the shadows, orchestrating every detail, aligning every step, and ensuring that your purpose is fulfilled. The chosen one trusts in the process, embraces the lessons hidden in hardship, and moves forward with faith that every struggle is a building block for destiny. Pain may come, difficulty may linger, but purpose always prevails. And when the time arrives, the chosen one will rise fully equipped, fully prepared, and fully aligned with the assignment that was written before the foundation of the world. Faith is the cornerstone of the chosen one's journey. It is not wishful thinking. It is not blind hope. It is confident trust in a God who never fails, never abandons, and never miscalculates. And confidence in God's timing is just as essential as faith itself. The chosen one must learn that life unfolds not according to human schedules, not according to personal desires, and not according to what feels convenient, but according to divine orchestration. Every delay, every setback, every moment of waiting is not a denial, it is an alignment. It is God's way of ensuring that everything happens at the perfect time, in the perfect way, so that the outcome is greater than anything we could imagine. Too often, the human heart becomes impatient. We look at the world and see others achieving, moving forward, succeeding, while we remain in the waiting. And in that impatience, we feel fear, doubt, and frustration. But the chosen one understands that the waiting is not wasted. It is preparation, it is training, it is a season where faith is strengthened, character is shaped, and vision is clarified. Confidence in God's timing allows the chosen one to remain steadfast, even when circumstances suggest otherwise, to keep walking even when the road seems long, and to keep believing even when the answer seems delayed. There is power in trusting God's timing because it shifts the focus from what is happening now to what God is orchestrating for the future. The chosen one recognizes that every not yet is not rejection but redirection. Every closed door is not a denial but a delay for something greater. Every challenge that seems prolonged is actually a divine pause, allowing for alignment, refinement, and preparation. Faith in God's timing allows the chosen one to move through life with patience, confidence, and clarity, knowing that the plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Confidence in timing also strengthens resilience. When the chosen one trusts that God's schedule is perfect, they are not shaken by setbacks, not derailed by delays, and not discouraged by obstacles. They understand that human understanding is limited, but God's perspective is infinite. What may feel like stagnation today is often the setup for acceleration tomorrow. What may feel like defeat is actually the preparation for victory. And what seems like silence is actually a season of divine activity behind the scenes, aligning every piece of the puzzle for maximum impact. Faith in God's timing also teaches patience without fear. The chosen one does not rush, does not force, and does not manipulate circumstances to fit a human schedule. Instead, they walk in obedience, remain diligent in effort, and trust that every moment is orchestrated with precision. Waiting becomes active, not passive. It becomes a time to grow, to learn, to prepare, and to strengthen both spirit and character. Confidence in God's timing transforms anxiety into peace, doubt into assurance, and uncertainty into expectation. Ultimately, trusting God's timing is a demonstration of submission to his wisdom and sovereignty. The chosen one understands that God's plans are far greater than human imagination, far deeper than human understanding, and far more perfect than human effort. Faith allows the chosen one to stand tall in the face of delays, confident that every season of waiting is intentional, every moment of hardship is purposeful, and every unseen move is orchestrated to bring about the destiny promised from the beginning. When the time is right, when the season is fulfilled, everything aligns perfectly. The breakthrough comes, the promise is realized, and the chosen one steps fully into the destiny that has been waiting all along. Faith in God's timing is not just a principle, it is the lifeline of the chosen one. It transforms waiting into preparation, struggle into growth, and delay into destiny. The chosen one endures, trusts, and moves forward, knowing that God's timing is flawless, his plan is perfect, and the best is always yet to come.